Hello everyone, my name is Liam, and today I will be going over a presentation about my own brand image. I wanted to do this presentation specifically on my transition from being a soccer athlete at Cleary to being a soccer coach, because this year I'm going to be a graduate assistant coach. And I know that being a coach, there's a lot of importance on your image to the players. And so I really wanted to explore that because I think it will be very helpful in these coming months. So first off, I had a few objectives going into this. First, I wanted to understand how I am perceived by both my fellow coaches and the players for the soccer team. I wanted to create ways to change long-standing brand image. So for example, my brand image right now is that of a soccer player, and I'm trying to get it to be more of a soccer coach. This spring I've been on the coaching staff, so it's only been a couple months and I'm still working on my image. So that's one of the objectives. And lastly, to brainstorm ways to improve my image as a coach. All right, first I wanted to go over some of the strengths of my brand image. First, I think authenticity is a major strength that I have, and that's because I've played with all of these players, and I've played soccer for a very long time and at high levels. And I've also held the position as captain before transitioning to being a coach, and so I think that all helps with my authenticity. And I found that 88% of consumers point to authenticity as a key deciding factor when considering a business to shop with. And so I think that could be related to coaches, as it shows that it would be a key reason that players would want to listen to a coach maybe. I think another strength is my alignment with the brand goal. I have a good understanding of what the team is and what the team wants to be, and I understand the values of all of the players, and so I think that gives me a step up, a leg up in being a coach. And then I also think I understand my target audience. I've played under these coaches for a few years, and I've played with all of these players for a few years. So I really understand the people that I'm trying to present this image to. So some of the weaknesses for my brand image, first would be a lack of consistency. And I think this just comes from transitioning roles and trying to change my brand identity. So a lot of the players and the coaches have seen me in a different role for a long time, so I think it's going to be hard to transition that brand image, and that's, I think, my first and most major weakness. Second, I'm new to the market, so just like a new product, my brand image is new, so there's going to be some changes that need to happen with that. From the player perspective, I am going to be the youngest coach on staff, and I think that will have an effect on my image. And just how much respect I would be able to gain from the players. And then finally, there is a reluctance to change. For myself, I don't necessarily want to give up being a player, so it's going to be hard to change, but I will have to change that brand image if I want to be an effective coach this upcoming year. I also would say, since I am new to the role, I'm not as vocal as some of the other coaches, and that can be an important thing, especially getting the players' respect. So I created some recommendations for myself, and first is to create a consistent image and be intentional during my interactions with my target audience, so the other players and coaches. I think especially during a time of transition for your brand identity, it's important to be very intentional and make sure that I'm putting forward what I want others to see, and in order to gain the respect from those players and those coaches. I think another recommendation would be to lean into my unique perspective. Of the coaches, I played most recently, and I have the closest relationship with the players, and it's something that the other coaches don't necessarily have. As being one of their teammates very recently, I think that puts me in a unique position to gain respect from some of them, and it improves my brand image. And then finally is, I think, to seek guidance from coaches who have made the transition from player to coach. The other coaches on the team obviously were players at one point, but even I think tracking down some of the more recent GAs and stuff like that, and just picking their brain about how they made the transition can just give me some understanding of the pitfalls and the challenges with changing your brand image. All right, and in conclusion, I just want to talk about overall how we as people, even though we are not necessarily a brand, we still have a brand image. And it's important to be very intentional and understand what you're showing to other people. And for me specifically, I think it's going to be very important to try and embody what it means to be a coach in order to put forward that brand image. So thank you all for watching and have a great rest of your day.